Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be explaining how to create codables, or just structs, and then save them in user defaults. So to do that, I'll just create a project, codables demo, and codables were added in Swift 4, I think, and they made it so much easier to just save data. So I'm just gonna create a struct here. Well, I guess I should do it outside of a class. So if I create a struct, we can just call this person, and if we give this person some parameters, so we'll give him let name, and this is a string. Give it a gender. We'll give it, that's also be a string, and we'll give it a age, which will be an int. Okay, so this is our person, and what we can do is we can create a class when the view controller is initialized. This will be called people, and what this will be is a list of person is equal to 0, and then we can add a person here. So people dot append person name, so I just have Aria male, and I don't really want to expose my real age, so I'll just say 99. Okay, there we go. So let's say this is a new person, and that's all great and all, but what happens if you want to save this? So to do that, what we're going to do is create two functions here. Okay, so let's just run this to show you how this works. I'll run this on the 12 mini, and we'll print people after this. Okay, let me just print that. So what this should show is just the the people list, and it should have one person in it, which is me. If we just wait. Oh, I need to activate terminal. If I just search for activate console. Okay, view debug area, activate console. Okay, let's just run this again. Okay, there we go. So that's where it was, and this is showing us our list, and we don't really need to worry about this stuff at the start. This is just showing that it's a person. We can have our list here. It's the name Aria, gender male, and age 99. Okay, so that's great. What happens if you want to save it? Well, we can do this. So right now, if we get rid of that and run this again, then what happens is it just comes up with an empty list, because this is initialized as an empty list. So to save this, what we're going to do is create this as a codable. Then we're going to create two more functions. So we'll have a func encode person. Well, actually, it'll be called encode people, because it's an encode people func. And so what we'll do in this, I'll show you later. We'll also have a decode people func, and this will return a list of people, persons, which is exactly what this list is. So now what we can do is just set this, when it's initialized, to be the decode people function, and you'll see how this works later. So this error is going to come up for now, but we can ignore that for now. So in the encoding thing, we're also going to have to add a user default, so I'll just add it outside of a class, so it's a global user default. So I'll have let person people default equals user defaults dot standard. Okay, so now what I can do is write to these user defaults if we use a JSON encoder. So we need to check if the data is valid, so use a try statement, optional and then we need JSON encoder dot encode, and we're gonna encode our people list. So encode that, and now I can write to the defaults. Oh, we need to bring people outside of here so we can access it. I don't know why I didn't do all of these in the same class, but it doesn't really matter. So now what we can do, now that we know the data is valid, we can just write to the defaults. So we'll use people defaults dot set. We just need the set, and it's gonna be a type data. So the data is what we just defined here. Let data is equal to the encoded people, and we can just set for key people. So that's what we need to do every time we make a change to the people list. We want to call this function, as this will encode the people. And now when we want to decode the people, what we want to do is we want to get the var people data equals, this is a list of people or persons, is equal to nothing. If let data equals default, people data, people defaults, I think that's what it calls, yeah, people defaults dot value for key, and then the key was people, as we just set right here. What we'll do is, as this was an as data type, so we can have an as data, and then we want to have another one, let data is equal to try, because it could go wrong, JSON decoded this time, and we want to decode that data. So decode from, and then people, person, I keep making this mistake, person.self from data, that's the data we just created here. So now what I can do is just add here, and we could just set people data as that data we just created. People data equals data, and we can just return people data. Okay, so now what I'll do is cancel these two out, and we'll run this and see what our people comes up with. I think it'll still come up with an empty screen. Yep, empty list I meant. So empty list. Now let's add this. If we add these two scripts in and run it, it should come up with the aria. But now this is the important thing. If we comment these out again, so we're not adding anything, what we should get is these should still be here, and yep, they're still here. So now I can just add as much stuff as I want. So if I just want to add, so if I want to append new person, I can just set person, and I'll just say random gender, let's add male again, and age 150. And now remember, we need to encode the people. So the encode people function is kind of like saving. It's kind of like saving your work. And now if we run this again, we should have aria and we should have random. So aria and random. So every time you make a change, you can also just reset this if you want. So if we can just do people is equal to this, and now it'll just run this again, and it'll just get rid of everything. So yeah, that's how you use codables and save your structs in Swift. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.